Good evening and welcome to Hoops Friday Night. I'm Jason Geyser. He's Tyler Segerman. And we begin tonight with Lima Senior, trying to continue the hot streak that's powered them to 10 straight wins.
The Spartans this weekend wrap up a stretch of 5 games in 9 days. 4 of those come against nearby rivals. Senior High has already beaten Findlay, OG, and LCC with a trip to Shawnee on tap tomorrow.
But first, the Spartans make a much longer road trip into Toledo for a conference clash with Whitmer. They beat these Panthers in overtime in Lima last month on the way to their 8-0 start to the track slate. First quarter, you can't give Anthony Mosley a clear path to the rim. The Whitmer miscommunication leads to the junior tying things up early. Then Brandon Moore drives and hands off to Cameron Miles, who does the rest of the work. That's a strong take to the rack. And here Miles dishes to Khalil Luster, who hoists the 3-ball and pours it through. Lima leads 30-26 at the half. Third quarter, Luster drives. His shot's partially blocked, but Tyrese Austin has his back right there for the foul. It's another one right down to the wire for the Spartans. Down 2 in the final 25 ticks. The lob to Brett Moss doesn't connect. The senior had 15, but Whitmer makes sure he doesn't get 2 more for the tie. The Panthers hang on to hand Lima Senior their first league loss, 60-57. Senior High's last second win at Findlay last Friday is the lone loss that the Trojans have suffered in their last 9 games. Findlay boss Jim Rookie enters tonight's game at Toledo St. John's with 499 career victories, so there's at least one good coach in the building tonight.
Second quarter, Max Roth comes away with the loose ball, and he's cleared for takeoff. The UF commit with the big throwdown. Then in the third, it's Roth again, elevating for yet another dunk. Here he comes, 16-point lead on the road, and later they're running. Justin Roth lobs to his cousin Max for 2 more. Findlay wins 77-50. That's 500 career victories for Coach Rucky. The only matchup tonight featuring league unbeatens took place in Hardin County, where Tony Quach had the front row seat.
Thank you, Tyler. Both Perry and Ridgemont enter the night with identical 11-2 records. However, one of these teams will suffer their first league loss tonight on the hardwood floor. Tonight's matchup is our Friday Night Hoops Spotlight game.
This Hoops Friday Night Spotlight game is presented by Midwest Electric Incorporated.
The Golden Gophers are eyeing their 4th league win tonight, while the Commodores are seeking their 3rd one of the season. Winner of this game remains at the top of the NWCC standings. The Golden Gophers strike first. Landon Newland driving to the rack, making his way past the defender. He works the glass for 2. Gophers up by 2. Now it's Perry's turn. The shot is blocked, but it's Ryan Yinks with a putback. This game is all tied up. Next up, it's Will Knight coming up with a loose ball. He spots up for 3 and knocks it down. Perry takes a 3-point lead. Richmond responds back. Grand Repper finds Mason Stuck, and Stuck kisses it off the glass. Home team up by 1. But here come the Commodores. Yinks with a pull-up J. Nothing but net for him. Perry takes a 1-point lead. Then it's Braden Knight to Cameron Moore, and Moore cans the tray. Perry goes on to win this one, 61-54, and they remain undefeated in the NWCC. The USV Rams defeated the Polar Bears on the road in a 59-46 victory to earn their 12th win of the season, and they remain tied for first in the NWCC with Perry. Also in the league, the Tigers knocked off the Pioneers 57-52 at home to earn their 6th win of the season and their first one in league play.
The team with the most WBL titles finds themselves once again in position for another. Ottawa Glandorf alone at the top of the league standings, hosting Van Wert, who is one of 3 teams sitting just a game behind. Start of the 4th quarter, Van Wert down 49-36. Garrett Gunner finds Aiden Pratt in the corner, who buries it. That gives Cougars a much-needed boost. Then on the defensive end, Ethan Brown poking the rock free, ends up in the hands of Pratt, who rewards the senior on the other end. His layup all of a sudden brings the Cougars within 8. OG doing their best to weather the storm. Theo Mag in the post connects, part of his game-high 20, makes the score 56-48. With under 4 minutes to play, Van Wert takes a timeout. And they would not go away. Pratt to Brown again, and this time number 3 uncorks a 3. Cougars claw their way back, but run out of time, coming up just short tonight, 62-60, as OG remains unbeaten in the WBL.
Shawnee hasn't played since last Friday's loss at Wapak. That snapped a 25-game WBL win streak for the Tribe. Tonight, Mark Triplett's crew faces his alma mater. St. Mary's is trying to steer out of a 5-game skid. Third quarter, big Austin Parks throwing down. The Rough Riders are well on their way, up 38-14. Now off the inbounds, go back to Parks. He's automatic. It's a 30-point game. And how about once more for good measure? Parks, 1 bounce, hoop in the harm. The 6'10" junior scores 29 for the Indians. Austin Miller to Jamari Johnson, plus the foul, but it's a 31-point deficit facing the home team. Now Brady Wheeler scoops one up and in. This one, though, never really a ball game. Here, Evan Angstman sends it long for Braden Sullivan, who drops it in off glass and gets the roll. St. Mary's storms back into the win column, 57-24. Salina's really turned things around since a 1-6 start. The Bulldogs have won 4 out of 5 entering tonight's home game against Bath, and that one loss came at top-ranked undefeated Versailles. Under a minute left in the first half, Braylon Gabes gets to the bucket for the layup. We hit halftime, tied at 19 all. Into the second half, Bath coming away with the steal, but Gabes stays with it, gets the ball back, and Josh Rezevir's there to convert his hustle into some points. The home team grabs a 2-point advantage. However, Bath would respond. Ian Armentrout has the rock. He drives and finishes from close range. This game's tied at 21 apiece. Very next possession, Andrew Starr. The basket and the Band-Aid. The old-fashioned three-point play has Bath up 24-21, and now Britton Hall drives from the corner, scores, plus the foul. Bath wins 40-33.
Coming off their first league win a week ago, Wapakoneta eyes to replicate that performance at Kenton, a matchup that never got played last year amidst the pandemic. Third quarter Skins were feeling it. Zach Rogers dishing to Zach Niekamp, and he sinks the three-ball. Road team up by 19. Then Niekamp showing he can pull up from the other side as well. How's 3 more for you? Wapak blowing this game open, and the three-point barrage would continue. Gavin Payne from beyond the arc helping aid the Kenton effort. Later, he decides to drive baseline and works the glass, but would it be too little, too late? Short answer, yes. Kane Seafreen on target as well from long range. They can't miss from deep. Fitting because Wapak has now won 3 straight following a 59-41 road victory. Just one other game in the WBL tonight. Defiance protects their home court against Elida 29-24.
We need to take our first break here on Hoops Friday night. When we come back, there's a battle for first place in the Blanchard Valley. Plus, we take you through the night in the NWC. Stick around.
Hoops Friday Night is brought to you by Union Bank. Now with everyday rewards checking, free online banking and bill pay, refunds on ATM charges, and more.
Welcome back to Hoops Friday Night. It's been 3 years since the Blanchard Valley Conference had an outright champion. Pandora Gilboa is seeking to change that as they sit in the driver's seat with a perfect 5-0 conference record. But first place on the line tonight as the Rockets welcome in Arlington, who could force a tie at the top with a win of their own. PG, though, has won 4 of the last 5 regular season matchups. Yet it's Caden Russell who decides to get things started, driving down the baseline and in. He led Arlington with 9 as the away team jumps on top early. Then Ryler Essinger feeds Mason Cavaday inside, and he too goes off glass. That puts up Arlington ahead by 4. Aiden Morris, though, looking to cut into that deficit and does so in a big way. Bucket plus the Band-Aid. His free throw ties the game. Second quarter, PG now moving the ball around. It'll end up in the hands of Ryan Johnson, who was left open inside. Rockets take their first lead of the game, but they aren't done. Dylan Crone putting the pressure on and ends up taking the ball away. He'll convert the turnover into 2 as Pandora Gilboa wins a defensive battle, 41-36 the final. A loss to Arlington is the only blemish for the Eagles of Liberty Benton in the BVC. Coach Gerken's team trying to stay in the title hunt as they take a trip to Macomb. Opening quarter, Camden Glazer pulling up and drop it in. That scores the first points of the game. Then LB, though, not impressed. Malik Eckford hands to Kason Doolittle, and he responds with 2 plus the foul. Deficit now 1. Then Mason Holman dumps it to Blake Wittenmeyer, who pops, stops, and drops in the bucket. Panthers take a 1-point lead. Back and forth we go. Toby Collard grabs the rebound, reloads, and puts it back. Liberty Benton pulls away and soars the victory 67-50. Around the Valley tonight, Riverdale earns a home victory over Van Loo 69-53, and North Baltimore tops Corey Rawson by a 48-29 final score.
In the Northwest Conference, Spencerville rides a 9-game win streak into a home game against defending league champ Columbus Grove. The Bearcats haven't lost since December 10th by just 2 points at Crestview. Late first quarter tonight, Eli Harder in the paint at the buzzer. Got it. Spencerville leads 20-14 after 1. In the second quarter, Dylan Smith right down Main Street for the layup. The Bearcats increase their lead to 10, and then they get out and running. Dylan Cook to Smith. Out ahead of the pack. Spencerville's up 26-14. At the other end, Jackson Schrader dishes to Braden Bellman on his way to the hoop, but it's still a 10-point game. And now Evan Osting gets to the baseline, drives. That's too easy. Spencerville has a 32-16 advantage. And even when Grove thinks they have something going, like here off a turnover in transition, the Bearcats spoil the fun. Harder with the block. Spencerville stays hot, winning 61-37. Just like Spencerville, Allen East is trying to get to 3-1 in NWC play. The Mustangs' lone league loss also came to Crestview, albeit just last week. Tonight they visit a Lipstick squad that's won 5 of 6. Third quarter, Esteban Carrillo passes to Quinn Schrader, who drains the triple try. The home team takes a 3-point lead, but the Mustangs fight back. Garrett Newland off the inbounds play, immediately firing from deep. The 3-ball has Allen East down just 1. Fourth quarter now, Mason Brandt with room to roam, and the University of Findlay commit gets to the hole. However, the Vikings are now down 4, and here Carson Klum drives and kisses it off glass. He pushes the Mustang lead to a half dozen. Then Keaton Lehman gives to Jacob Hirschberger for 3 more. Allen East wins 63-59.
To the team everyone's chasing, Bluffton taking their unbeaten conference mark on the road into Lincoln View. Lancers not only trying to shake up the standings, but grab their first NWC win. Kyler Kinn jumping into action early. He'll split defenders and put in the bucket. Then it's Lincoln View coming back. Dagan Hatfield showing his post presence here with the post move. That ties the game at 10. Yet Caden Laura, though, would come back on the other end, grabbing the offensive board and putting it back to put the Pirates back on top. Second quarter, Carson Fox off the inbound, finds himself with space at the charity stripe and rattles it home, but Kyler Kinn would not let Bluffton lose tonight. Here he is on the other end, driving and just not going down without a fight, putting it in as Bluffton wins by 20, 63-43. Just one other score in the Northwest Conference this evening. Crestview holding off Jefferson, 58-47. We're set for our second and final break here on Hoops Friday night. On the other side, we check in on the race for a Midwest Athletic Conference crown as New Bremen tries to stay unbeaten in league play. See the action after this.
Hoops Friday Night is brought to you by Rabel's Auto Service in St. Mary's, where we'll fix the problem the first time, not cause more.
There's the contest with all the makings of a classic trap game tonight in the MAC. 11-2 New Bremen, winners of 7 straight, need only get past a 4-10 opponent, and then their next 2 games pit them against the top-ranked teams in the Division III and 4 state polls. But here's the deal. Tonight's game is on the road against a Parkway squad that most everyone would consider much better than their record. The Panthers' 10 losses have come to teams with a combined 91-28 mark. First quarter, Trevor Bergman drives the lane, lays it home. Cardinals have a 2-point lead. The home team would fall down 5 until Caden Slusher knocks down the pull-up J. The Panthers get within a deuce, but New Bremen goes on a little run. Bergman, baseline, high glass. It's a 7-point lead. Back comes Parkway again. Jacob Rogers drives, stops, has nowhere to dish, so he goes up with it himself. That slices the deficit to 5, but New Bremen has the answer. Aaron Tiemann from range. No trap game here. The Cardinals win 55-38. They're at Botkins tomorrow and home to Versailles next Friday.
In America's friendliest city, New Knoxville and St. John's getting together. Both teams looking to get back in the win column, secure win number 1 of 2022. Nolan Schwinnen dishing to J.J. Boniface, who knocks down the 3 ball. Then it's Landon Grothaus later working his way past defenders here as he splits them up. Oh, yes, off the glass and works in for 2. DSJ up big. Other end, though, it's Troy Dwinger who is able to put it in for the Rangers. And then Jay Waterman getting in on the action and showing off his range for the Rangers from beyond the arc. Here he goes. Nothing but net there. But this one would all be Blue Jays as they're moving the ball around now. And it's Schwinnen who lays it up for 2. Blue Jays go on to win 50-29. Around the MAC, top-ranked Versailles stays undefeated on the season with a 66-55 win over Coldwater. Marion Local wins at Minster 53-45, and Fort Recovery picks up a home victory over St. Henry 50-37.
In the Shelby County League, Fort Loramie edges Anna 51-49. Russia takes down Fairlawn 71-26, and Jackson Center picks up a home victory over Houston 56-20. Three Rivers Conference action in Shelby County. Lehman Catholic loses to Miami East 54-49. Meanwhile, Riverside's trip to Northridge is postponed to February 14th due to COVID issues.
Central Buckeye Conference Mad River Division, Northwestern at Indian Lake is also postponed, but Urbana sneaks past Ben Logan 50-48. Kenton Trail Division, Tecumseh beats Bell Fountain 69-29. Putnam County League hits a school record and conference record 14 three-pointers in a 57-39 win over Fort Jennings.
Green Meadows Conference, Wayne Trace wins a 6th straight 63-30. Paulding falls at Fairview, and in the NWAL, Patrick Henry beats Evergreen 41-34. That's how we wrap up another edition of Hoops Friday Night. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you right back here next week.
Have a good night, everyone.